Hello and welcome back everybody. It's Complicated Relationships Reddit Stories. Hope you guys are safe and healthy. Now let's see what the story is about today. In today's story, OP says, I thought my wife was having a secret relationship with another man, which I thought was just physical. Well, I was wrong. It turns out it's a lot worse. She is in love with him. It's time we listen to the story. Also, if you like what I do, please give this video a thumbs up and do subscribe to the channel.
We've been married for almost 11 years now, 19 years together, met in college and started dating. Great relationship for 8 years, and then decided to get married. After 3 years married, she had a one-night stand with the son of her boss. She came home the next day telling me the son must have drugged her or something because she doesn't remember what happened. She was clubbing with her friends, the guy arrived to the club, they started chatting, and the next thing she knows, she woke up in his house. To this day, she says she's not sure if they slept together or not, but she didn't want to take any kind of legal or medical action. I forgave her, she quit her job, and we were okay. So 1 year later, we had our first son, now 7. 3 years later, she attended her best friend's brother's wedding in LA, USA. She slept with some random dude she met on the wedding. She came back to Mexico and told me all about it because she didn't use protection and needed to get tested. All clear, TG. I forgave her. We did couples therapy for 8 months. She told me she was sorry, but she was so stressed out with the baby and I never helped, and she felt she had the responsibility of the baby all by herself, and so on and so on. I promised in therapy I would change, and I did. I have since done everything she asked of me. It all seemed good. So we got pregnant again, and my daughter, now 3, was born 3 years after the incident.
Since December 2018, OP started to get the feeling that she was cheating again. This time with her male best friend. OP will let us know more about him later.
So I started checking her phone, and there were some glimpses of strange messages I could see, but most of the time her conversations with her male and female best friends were deleted. I was very suspicious, so I started checking her phone's GPS, and on February 2019, there it was. Her phone was on her male's best friend's apartment when she was supposed to be partying with her female best friend. I confronted her about this, and she promised me that there was nothing going on between them, and she just didn't tell me she was going to be with him because, since the thing in LA, I had gotten extremely jealous, and she didn't want to upset me. I had no more proof, so I had to believe her. She promised she would cut all contact with this guy, and for a time, I believed it. In a nutshell, I had to forgive her 3 slips. One where she says she doesn't remember, one she admitted, and one she denied. For me, it has been 3 times I've had to do work and forgive infidelity in my heart.
Now about this guy, we'll call him C. C was the wife's best friend from college.
She's a year younger, so even though we went to the same college, we weren't on the same classes, and she was with this guy. She always told me he was her best friend and nothing more. I always thought C loved her, but she loved me. My suspicion grew stronger when C refused to come to our wedding with some lame excuse. I told my wife that he was in love with her and couldn't handle watching her getting married to me. She told me I was crazy, and that his lame excuse was valid, and that even if he was in love with her, she was in love with me. After our wedding, he went to another city to get a master's degree, and we stayed in our hometown, so he was out of our lives for many years. He came back to our hometown more or less by the time my daughter was born, and my wife started seeing him regularly and getting coffees with him and going places with him because, after all, he was her best friend. This happened until the night I told you about before.
Now that brings us to today. OP knew that his wife and her female best friend were going to talk about C the other night.
So, against my better judgment, because I knew I could hear something more than what I expected, I placed a voice recorder on my wife's car. I thought I only needed confirmation that they had slept together, knowing that would give me closure, and I also was hoping for some confirmation that she wasn't seeing him anymore. Instead of that, I got to hear the following conversation. I felt I made the ultimate sacrifice of my life when my husband asked me to stop seeing C, but I miss him so much. I'm genuinely in love with him. I love him with all my heart and soul. If you asked me who I want to be with right now is him, but he does not want to be with me. He wants to be with his girlfriend. So in my genuine love for him, I let him be with her because I know how much it hurts to not be with the person you love. I love C so much. He fascinates me. I have him in my head, my mind, my heart, my soul. There's friendship, history, and everything with him. But I have it clear that he's not the one I'm supposed to be with. End of conversation. I feel numb. I know I should feel devastated. I know a man with a healthier self-respect would have packed his bags that same moment. I know I should be mad, but the thing is, I don't know what to feel, what to think, what to do.
Now, OP doesn't even understand why he's even considering staying.
She did say some good things about me, but I think what I'm trying to ask is, why do I feel the need to stay? How can I still love so much someone who has hurt me so much? What's your take on staying for the kids? I love my children, and they are so young. I think I could stay just for them to be happy, especially since we don't really fight or anything they can notice. Are there here anyone with experience on secretly recording your SO? I can never tell her I taped her. It would get really nasty. She would hate me for sure, and I think it would make co-parenting more difficult. Also, I believe it's illegal, so if she knows, it could hurt my access to children on the divorce. So, if I manage to convince my sorry bottom to leave, I can't tell her why I'm leaving. TLDR. I taped my wife talking to her BFF, and I heard her admit she's in love with another man and that she finds it difficult to be without him. Even with this knowledge, I can't muster the courage to leave. My heart tells me to keep trying, especially for my kids.
End of the story. Well, OP, staying for the kids will not benefit them. You will be miserable, and that will turn into resentment knowing what you know. You can co-parent successfully after divorcing her. You have no marriage to save. Talk to a lawyer and get all your affairs financially and legally in order to file for divorce. If she asks why, you can say you know why, or tell her you know she's in love with someone else, but not how you know. The less you say, the better. If you choose to divorce, be careful. Even though you have heard your WW say that you aren't the one she's supposed to be with, she will try to convince you otherwise. This is just survival mode. She needs to provide stability for her life while she chases after the man of her dreams. The man of her dreams seems to be changing because she has a history of cheating on you. This will never change. Hope we could hear an update soon if you have the time. Now, before we go, let's see what the community has to say about this story. The first comment is by Wellman81.
OP, I'm going to be perfectly honest here. You have been nothing but a doormat to a serial cheater, and your mistake was not leaving when she cheated on you the first time. You instantly believed and forgave, which was a grave mistake because it set the wheels in motion. She never dealt with any consequences of her actions, and she knew she could get away with it, and you would just continue to take her back. Why, OP? Because of love? Well, she's certainly shown how much she loves you, hasn't she? The time has come for you to finally take a stand and kick her to the curb where she belongs. Your wife is nothing but another remorseless serial cheater who clearly has zero respect and love for you. And you know why? Because you don't respect yourself. This marriage is in no way reconcilable because it's destroyed beyond repair. Tell your soon-to-be ex-wife to prepare for single motherhood because you are filing for divorce. Do not, under any circumstances, fall for any apologies and crocodile tears. It's all to try to keep you around as her personal wallet and babysitter. You have been nothing but her plan B for many years, and it's time to start standing up for yourself. I don't mean to be harsh, but until you learn to respect yourself and have some sort of backbone, you have no business being in the dating scene. Focus on your children from now on and just be a good father.
Second comment is by Richie J86.
Don't stay for the kids. It's one of the worst things you can do. Not only are both of you going to be miserable, but the kids are going to have it in their minds that it's how a healthy relationship looks like. Whether she was drugged or not from the first encounter is up for debate. It's definitely possible, so I'll leave it out. However, the Mexico trip and the lying thereafter about going clubbing and actually being at her friend's house is enough evidence that she can't be trusted. You've tried therapy, talking to her, changing. None of it is working. She isn't remorseful, and she cut and dry divulged that she'd rather have this guy than you. I mean, I could care less about the qualities in me she finds attractive if she's pining over this other man. You're a placeholder. She's treating you like a doormat, and the more you forgive, the more she's going to use that as an opportunity to get better at her deceit. I say pull the plug. It's over. You guys have been together for a really long time, but it certainly isn't worth your shattered trust and anxiety. The fact that you're resorting to checking GPS and secretly recording her says it all, and you're always going to wonder if she's doing whatever she tells you she's doing.
Thank you all for listening. Please like, comment and share the video if you enjoyed it. Also, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you will be notified when we upload the next video. Take care.